In this video, I would like to talk about positive mindset. The reason is that in anything that you desire in this world, it has to start from how you think about it, and that will trickle down to your ability to then achieve it. Now, if you haven't met before, my name is Beatrice Yakubu, founder of Simply Family Business. I help you as an entrepreneur to be able to become visible on social media as well as in the digital space so that you can attract the right customers for your business. I'll also help you if you are a parentpreneur to be able to work with your child effectively so that you can grow your business faster as well as transfer your entrepreneurship skills to them. Let's get started with the 3 ways that you can actually think positively and indeed be able to achieve your business goals or your life goals. Number 1 is for you to actually think, because it's a bit of a cliche, but that's it. You need to think positively. Why would you, or how would you think positively is the first question that you might wonder. The point is, I always say, is that there are several thoughts that come into our minds in a day, on a day-to-day basis. And some of these thoughts are even uninvited. And indeed, if you can think about bad things, why don't you think about good things? Because at the end of the day, it will not cost you anything to think about the good thing, and perhaps it will even bring a smile on your face thinking about positive things. In fact, try it right now and just think about, nice, possible, positive thing. For example, I love to think about sitting by the beach. I am not yet to that level where I can literally go and live somewhere, not in England, of course, in a warm country where I can have the opportunity to sit by the beach every day. But anytime I think about sitting in a beach, and sometimes I will actually describe it in details, and I just have a smile on my face. And even though if no one is around, I just feel a sense of happiness about the fact that I'm sitting in a warm place with water around me, and indeed with my, perhaps just enjoying the serenity. Now, the point is of thinking about that is the fact that at this point, it's not possible for me because of personal circumstances, but that's my overall aim in life. In one day, I would have the opportunity to literally do that on a day-to-day basis if I choose to. Now, I have to think it to make it happen. And I've listened to several videos, I've listened to several books, I have read several books about this issue of positive thinking. And it's the same thing with all of them being said differently, of course. But it all boils down to the fact that what you think actually comes to pass. Because if you just think about your surroundings at the moment. You can see the lights, you can see perhaps a television, you can see sofa, you can see chairs, you can see even the clothes that you're wearing. That was someone's thought. It wasn't there before. In fact, when we think about this guy called, the one who invented the electric bulb, Thomas Edison, apparently he tried 10,000 times to be able to get this thing right. And once he's got it, imagine, that was a massive imagination in someone's part, that, to think about something that has never existed. And eventually, even with the trials and the frustration of, I bet he was frustrated sometimes, but he didn't give up until, he made it happen. But he had to think about it and think about how it will impact and help millions and now billions of people to come. So that is the premise of thinking. And so I will wonder sometimes, why don't I think about the positive? And why don't you think about the positive? Because at the end of the day, thinking about it actually works. And I will share an example of one of my friends back in Ghana. When we were just young, he was smiling if he listened to this video. When we were young, in our 20s, He used to talk about the type of house that he wants to live in. In fact, literally, we had no television. We did not have anything. He could not see any of these anywhere. But in his imagination, he was able to tell us the type of house he wants to live in, the garden that will surround the house, the light bulbs that will be in the house. And it was fascinating. We used to laugh about it and just joke about it. But recently, that is how the type of life that he's living. And even the type of children that he wants to have, he used to literally say all these things on a day-to-day basis. And indeed, lo and behold, that is the type of life that he has been able to live. And it also only happened because if you don't think about it, how are you even going to crystallize or think about the process of even getting it? And sometimes what we do, or what I see that most of us do, is that we kind of discount the fact that we cannot get to it. So that brings me to my next point, which is believe. You need to, when you think about the positive thing, you need to believe that you can get it. Now, let me give you tips that you can actually use to anchor this belief, because for me, it has taken me a journey to be able to have the firm belief that what I want in this world, by the grace of God, I will find it and I will get it. Why? Because you think about other people who literally grew up with nothing. Nothing started to kind of build a lot of things, but it was the fact that they believed. For example, in fact, if you look at iPhone, now who would have believed in years past that we would have a computer in our hand? When Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, or the founder of the iPhone, for that matter, started this process of helping human beings have a computer in our hands, it would have been a crazy idea. But he believed strongly that it was possible. And lo and behold, now, none of us can even fathom living in this world without a mobile phone, living in this, or having a mobile phone that doesn't have a computer attached to it to be able to do the things that we use our phone to do. Several people, if you type even on Google, people who succeeded building wealth, building great businesses, building inventions from scratch, you are bound to come up with millions of people who have been able to do that. Andrew Carnegie, who is become all-time famous in America, built a fortune and left everything to charities before he passed. He started from nothing. And we can see that from several people that is possible. But you have to believe that it is possible, because without that belief, of course, you have already discounted yourself. Once you doubt, in fact, recently when I was taking my daughter to uni, we had the opportunity, or we had to make a choice of choosing which car to send her in, because I have a smaller car, and that is, I was intending to send her in that car, but our family car is a bigger car. But of course, there have been issues with that. So I just had to believe that the things will fit in this car. And as we did it gradually, it took time, because if we were just to dump them in a bigger car, it would have been a lot easier. But the fact that I just trusted that we would do it, gradually we were able to fit these things one after the other, and eventually the journey became smooth as far as that was concerned. In fact, you have to start believing in small things. So for you to even start believing in bigger things, sometimes can be overwhelming. Start believing in smaller things, just like even sometimes going out and believing that I'm going to meet the bus, which is something basic. Sometimes you can think that, I'm going to miss this train, because why are you thinking about that instead of thinking about what you can actually achieve? The fact that I will miss the train, the fact that I will get to this meeting and everything will be beautiful, the fact that I will get to this networking event and I will love it, I will be able to have the ideas that I want that would promote my business. That's a belief. And once you believe it and you get there, you are going to find the right people who are going to make your day worthwhile. The last but not the least thing is to take action. In fact, a gentleman called John Asraf, he talks about Goya, get off your ass, because it is not okay for us to just believe. It is in our interest to take action, because sometimes when you believe that you can achieve it, you have to now break it down in a way that you can start taking smaller actions to be able to achieve it. The thing that gets us overwhelmed is when you're trying to do everything at one time. Definitely, you are going to get overwhelmed. But by I think it's Brian Tracy who says that in order for you to maintain your morning routine, he says make sure that your workout clothes is by your bedside, so that as soon as you get out of bed, that's one step, you slip into it. So making things easier for you to be able to do is one of the first step in terms of taking action. Because when you're waiting to kind of just take the massive action to be able to accomplish a goal, that can be overwhelming. But breaking things down, the thing that you're thinking in your head, kind of writing it down, and figuring out, or now sitting down to think what are the things that I can do to make it worthwhile, is what the steps will be in terms of taking action. Because without action, faith without works, the Bible says, is dead. And whatever your faith is, or whatever your belief is, you cannot just believe and things will happen. You need to take action. And that is the last point as far as thinking big is concerned. So that is it for me today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If there is a comment, send me a comment. Let me know if you want any more of these type of videos in the future. And thank you for watching. I will come your way once again. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're watching this on YouTube. And indeed, we would definitely our path will cross again. Take care.